This is the TTartisan's 50mm F1.2. So today we're going to be reviewing the TTartisan's 50mm F1.2. It's going to be an unboxing. I haven't looked at this yet, and I'm pretty excited to use this. This cost $97, so you know, $97. You think like, what? $97? You're going to, I guess, imagine that the photos look like garbage, and like for $97, if someone's like, I got you a lens for $97, I would assume that every photo taken with that lens would be like, it's like if you take a photo into Lightroom and just lower the contrast and it has like this weird hazy look, like kind of like when your contacts are old and like light's reflecting all weird and you can't see anything because it's all hazy. That's what I'm assuming a $97 lens would give you. But here we go. Open her up. Get a little manual. That's that. Get some cool beans. Nicely packaged. Get rid of that for now. Right out of the bat, pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. Yeah, this is pretty solid. You can definitely kill somebody with this. You can definitely throw this through somebody's window. First impression, pretty good. Ooh, it's clicky. I think some people were saying that the aperture ring. No, sorry, that's the 7 Artisan, so there's also a different company. This one I remember has a clicky aperture. Very clicky, very nice and appealing clicks. Some force needs to be applied for these clicks, but it feels good. And then you have your focus. Focus ring is smooth and firm, no play of any kind. Has some cool markings here. You know, shows you infinity, shows you your zoom, not zoom, focus, distance, and all that fun stuff. Okay, let's get to the. It has quite an interesting cap. It's just a little screw on, which I'm not really mad at. It's kind of interesting. It's an interesting cap. I'm not mad at it at all. It's pretty cool. Metal, of course. Aperture ring is interesting. Pretty cool lens, pretty hefty. I'm actually excited to use this. So let's put this onto a Fuji XH1. Okay. There you have it. Pretty cool, dude. And that's what it looks like on the XH1. Pretty hefty. I mean, this lens is pretty heavy. I think on the box it said it is 335 grams. Says that almost a pound. Tomorrow I'm gonna go do a little portrait, and it's bright outside, and then just general photography outside. You guys can see what the photos look like out of the lens. Hopefully I can focus correctly on this. What's up, guys? So we're back. Took a little longer than I expected. It took me like 2 more days to get out and actually shoot with this lens. Took some portrait shots and a few things around my neighborhood, and I will say this contends pretty well with the 50mm lens from Fuji, as well as the new 50mm F1 from Fuji. Now, here are some shots that I took this morning. Just keep in mind that the Fuji F1 lens is, I think, what, $14.99? Could be $12.99. I think it's $14.99. $1,499 for F1 lens, 50mm. And this cost $97. What? Like, I know when I was reviewing this, when I first opened the box a few days ago, and you guys were watching me open it up, like build quality, everything's pretty nice, The thing that Fuji has over this lens is obviously autofocus and weather resistance. But I'm not gonna lie, for a $97 lens, fully manual, I've gotten used to the manual. It's really not that bad if you have focus peaking. It's actually kind of interesting if you're willing to deal with that. Obviously, it's difficult if you have someone walking towards you and stuff, but if they're just moving side to side and not forward or backwards, this works great. Portraits, I really like the look of it. The background blur is very nice. Colors look good. If you can nail focus, it's pretty good. But even some of the shots that I took doing portraits, some of them might be slightly blurry, but it actually, what I noticed in portraits is oftentimes you don't really want a super sharp lens for portraits, because it shows, especially women, I think, wouldn't like it because it shows a lot of detail of the face. So slightly more blurry is a little more aesthetically pleasing for the skin, I think. But overall, I'm gonna use this a lot now, and just for $97, if you have $97 to spend, I would just get this just to have it and use it, because I think I've been periodically posting images that I took with this lens, and they look great. Minimum focusing distance, pretty good. A lot better than the 56 1.2 by Fuji. That one you gotta freaking... And then the magnification was kind of weird, so everything was always kind of far away anyways. This one, I took a close-up of this thing, took a close-up of my knife. Things look great. I literally have no complaints over this, and even if I did, it's all about the pricing. You can't really complain about it. If this was $300, okay, let's see. If this was $300, would I have something to complain about? No. As long as you're aware that this is a manual focus lens, there's nothing to complain about. Maybe it would be cool to be weather resistant, but it's who cares? It's fully metal. The lens cap is kind of interesting, metal. You guys already saw me review this earlier, but literally, so I just hopped in here the next day to show you guys the images that I took on this, and no issues. Works great, which completely debunked my whole theory about I think I talked about this earlier, is that I was oh, I'm just gonna get Fuji lenses. It's you don't need to. I think this is proof alone that you don't need to spend $2,000 on a Fuji lens. Or even if you have a Sony or full frame camera or something, you don't need to get native lenses. Like the next one I'm probably gonna get is that Viltrox 85mm 1.8 lens. That one has autofocus capabilities, and it's 85mm. I'm super curious how that one works. And so yeah, overall, my takeaway about this lens is if you have $98 or whatever, $97, buy it. I don't think you're going to be disappointed in it. Just know that it's a manual focusing lens, but it's kind of fun to deal with. Gives you, like if you're bored, it gives you kind of something to do. But I did notice like that came off kind of weird, but I did notice portraits, like if I had to kind of quickly focus, you kind of get used to it rather quickly. You see where the focus peaking is, the highlights, and you kind of know when it's the most highlighted, and it's rather quick. Like I would just turn around, like, focus, boom, 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 focus. If you don't feel like dealing with that, then whatever, that's your problem. But I will say for static stuff, like maybe product photography or like things that aren't moving, this is pretty cool. If you want super sharp focus and you can't, like for example, I probably took 100 shots when I was doing these portraits earlier. I would say maybe 20% were kind of more blurry than I would have liked. But they weren't that bad. You can even sharpen them a little bit, but it's a cool lens. I really like it. TTartisan lens, no issues here, bro. So yeah, that's my review. If you guys have any questions, I'm pretty active in the comments when someone sends me a message or a comment, and I will respond if you have any questions. So just let me know if you want to see some more sample photos. You can always follow me on Instagram, send me a direct message, and I'll send you, I have a bunch in there. And yeah, hope this kind of helped you guys out. And yeah, TTartisan, it is made in China, but the quality is pretty good. See you guys later.